And so do you think, being that this was a trend last year, have you seen many protocols start to shift their focus in the right way towards revenue? Like, do you think this is going to become more common going forward this year, or do you think we're still going to have another year of protocols that are more so looking to generate user based and actual sustainable business model?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a major trend that way. And if you look at even the top protocols like Uniswap and MakerDAO, people are starting to demand some form of, if they're that they collect some form of fees or earn revenue some way beyond just what liquidity users pay to liquidity providers. So I think that that's going to be a major trend, and that's bear market thing. That's also in general a recession thing in the economy, where businesses that actually earn money are the ones that tend to survive recessions. I think and this is probably one of my contrarian opinions, is I'm not convinced that it's in the best interest of most of these protocols to actually pay out a significant portion of that yield to users right now. And if I were invested in a protocol, even though I've been a yield farmer for years in terms of going into any sort of yield farm you can imagine, I think in most cases I would prefer they build up their treasury and reinvest that into growing the protocol, and then at a future date maybe start paying out yield, because we're in a tough situation with the bear market. I mean, yes, the past few weeks have been good, but things are still down tremendously. Retail interest has not fully returned yet, and if I'm invested in something, I want them to be able to survive 2 or 3 years. So until they've built that runway, I would almost rather, in most cases, they earn money, hoard it away, build up that runway, and then maybe pay excess out to stakers.
I completely agree with that too. I think that, it's like this is not the time to give out dividends, essentially, like when you're in the growth phase. So I feel like these companies should definitely be saving their yield. But yeah, I also think that, people are kind of drinking the hopium, and thinking, what's been going on for the past 2 weeks is a sign that we're coming out of the bear market. But, I still do think that we have a long way to go. So we're definitely going to have to like see protocols that can save their treasuries and use them as like a fortress to help them last for the next year at least.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, can you imagine if you were running a startup and your investors, and say your startup would roughly be valued at a market cap of a couple $1 million. Can you imagine if investors started calling you and saying, "Hey, we need you to start paying us a dividend"? Like, what?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
just not something you do with a growth stage startup.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and I think like I mean, even to hammer down on that a little bit more, it's like, things aren't good yet. I feel like people should just keep that in mind. I mean, we're still seeing like the bigger tech companies like in the Web2 space doing lots of layoffs. So there's obviously something coming. So yeah, I feel like just in general, like startups and projects should be more conscientious with their spending.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the same thing goes for buybacks. I think the thing is, people like it because they're concerned that the tokens will never have value, right? And I think that for some tokens, maybe there's a legitimate concern that it will always be a governance token. And to me, the way to counter that is you have the mechanism set up where they could start paying out a dividend or collecting fees that they give to token holders eventually, but you just don't implement that yet. You have it set to zero and then have some future date where it will turn on. But to me, now is the time to build a war chest.
I definitely agree. So, from the trader's point of view, how does building a war chest look?
From a trader's point of view, that would be the treasury, which fortunately is again on chain, going up. And Token Terminal, the website, has a good dashboard where they track different protocol treasuries, and they even track whether those treasuries are in their native token or in other tokens like stablecoins or ETH. And again, that's one of the benefits of crypto and having things on chain, is that you can actually see what their treasuries are, provided that they're actually holding them on chain, which many, if not most, protocols are. So that's what it looks like. It looks like that treasury number going up.
Nice.